Kia ora te whānau, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, my name is Jackie Kutia, and alongside my husband we run a Pakahi Māori, a Māori business here in New Zealand, and also create content. Today is day 29 of our 90-day YouTube challenge where we upload a video every day, and I wanted to talk about something a little bit different. I wanted to share 5 of my tips to help you save money at your upcoming wedding. I do want to start off by saying I am an event manager, so outside of running our business, I am an event manager for my career. I've been in the events industry for over 10 years now, and this is just my personal experience on tips that I have seen when coordinating weddings as well as organizing my own wedding. So me and my husband got married on the 4th of September last year. It was a beautiful day, and we only had about 4.5 months to plan our wedding. So we decided on the date and thought, yeah, that's the date we want, this is when it is. And yeah, just sort of ran with it. I wasn't stressed about that time frame because, as I mentioned, I'm an event manager and understand everything that goes into planning an event, so that was pretty easy for me. So my first tip is usually a venue will have summer and winter rates, meaning in the summer months, like in New Zealand, summer months, I don't know, from end of November to February, probably something around there, you would be charged a higher rate because it is during summer. You know, the weather is beautiful usually, so the costs, I don't know why, but seem to be higher in terms of the venue. And a winter month is obviously that winter period, winter, spring, where it's usually quieter, not as many events going on. Usually that winter period is a lot cheaper, and if you want to even add more to that, booking on a weekday as opposed to a weekend. So some venues, it's probably not so much in New Zealand, but in Australia, paying your staff to work on weekends, you usually have to pay more than working on weekdays. So for us, we had our wedding in spring, but it was sort of the end of winter. We also had our wedding on a Monday, so that's not a traditional day that you would have your wedding. It would usually be a Saturday or a Friday. So yeah, that's what we decided to do, and it worked out to be, I think, about $2,500 cheaper than if we were to book during summer and on a weekend. Our wedding was at a venue called the Glass House in Morningside. Absolutely beautiful venue. Yeah, I would always encourage you to inquire for a wedding package, and usually you'll be able to see the venue hireage rate broken down into those summer and winter months. My second tip from a venue perspective is to also select a venue where you can have your ceremony and your reception in the same place. This obviously just helps on not having to book 2 venues, which is additional money. Depending on the layout of the venue, they can usually switch around. So for example, for us, we had one big venue space. Then we hired a curtain between the ceremony and reception, sort of cut off those 2 areas. We had our ceremony down one end, the curtain in the middle, and the reception area was already all set up, ready to go. Once the ceremony had finished, we opened the curtain for cocktail hour and everyone was able to see the reception area as well. We did have to hire the curtain. You don't have to, you can have, you know, everyone seeing that space, but we wanted to be a bit of a reveal. But yeah, that pretty much saved us money on having both in the same area, because it was also spring and it was raining that entire day. If we had an outside ceremony location, then you need to have a rain backup option for your ceremony, else you're going to be outside in the rain getting poured on. And you also want to select a venue, if you can, that is all-inclusive. By all-inclusive, that means having the caterers on site, the staff, preferred suppliers for your lighting, and you know, cake and all that sort of stuff. So that just helps in terms of all of those hidden costs that if you were to have a venue where you had to bring in multiple suppliers, then all of those suppliers charge things like transportation, sometimes installation, that sort of thing. Whereas if the venue includes all of those costs, it's usually at a cheaper price. I would encourage you to look at venues if you are on a budget that have that all-inclusive price. You sometimes can do wedding packages as well. So for us at the Glass House, they didn't have wedding packages. It was all split costs. So you had a certain amount for the venue, a certain amount for the food, a certain amount for the staff, etc. Where some places they do like $98 per head, includes this, and the venue and all of that's included. So sometimes having a venue with a wedding package per head is even cheaper as well. My third tip is, instead of sending physical wedding invitations and that whole rigmarole of getting people's addresses, it is beautiful, like that traditional type, but to save money is that you can create a wedding website. Really simple, and this is basically an electronic way that people can RSVP. So they just go in, enter in all of their details, inviting multiple people from one family, then they can RSVP for everyone else. You can also collect any dietary requirements, which is good. And then this just links directly to a spreadsheet. So you've got all of that information in real time. Just makes it super easy from an admin perspective as well. Fourth tip, this one is pretty self-explanatory, but you can obviously make things yourself for your wedding as opposed to hiring or getting other people to create them for you. If I was on a tighter budget, some things that I could probably feel comfortable making myself would be the menus to go on the tables with the food, name cards, maybe seating plan as well. You can just use a tool such as Canva to design everything. Canva's free unless you have the pro account, and then you just go get it printed at the warehouse, stationery warehouse, something like that. Yeah, that could definitely be another way that you could save a little bit of money. We got this all made by a beautiful small business owner here in New Zealand called whānau. So she is amazing. She's done all of our signage for us. I'll make sure to pop her link below if you're interested in getting wedding invitations and signage done. Yeah, couldn't recommend her enough. She is honestly amazing. My fifth and final tip, e te whānau, is to, if you can, attend wedding expos or bridal expos. They usually have them once a year here in New Zealand. That is a great way to see a bunch of vendors all in one place. You're able to compare pricing and services. You're not having to search around on the internet. You know, everyone's there. You can talk to them in person, and they often have deals as well and packages and discounts for people who attend those shows. If you have one where you are, I would highly encourage you to go there. I also had a friend who won her wedding dress from an expo, this gorgeous dress which I think would have costed her about $5,000. Definitely have a look at those if you've got one near you and it works around your dates. Just going to add in one more tip because I've just remembered something, but if you do have time, then obviously shop around, do lots of Googling, jump on Facebook, join some groups, ask your friends and family. Always good to shop around to try get the cheapest price, and like anything in life, you've just got to do your research if you do have time up your sleeves. That was a little brain dump, e te whānau, of some of my tips to save money for your upcoming wedding. If you do have any specific questions around wedding planning, or if a checklist of some sort would be helpful, I also created a budget spreadsheet that I use for my wedding that I could potentially pop into a template for you guys. Then please let me know in the comments below and I will get onto that. Other than that, e te whānau, that is today's video. Hope you enjoyed, and we will see you a pōpō. Ka kite!